Hi, I'm State Representative Doyle Heffley from the 122nd District, Carbon County, and I'm here today at the 99th Annual Pennsylvania Farm Show with Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary Gregg. Secretary, thank you. Another awesome job this year at the PA Farm Show.
It's a great day, great week for Pennsylvania Farm Show.
Now this is the 99th year of the annual farm show. What makes this year's a little bit different than the years before?
Well, the farm show is always, it seems like it's bigger and better every year. It's not actually the 99th annual because there were a few years that during World War II that they did not have a farm show.
Okay.
But this is the 99th Pennsylvania Farm Show. So, but everything that is agricultural is here under 1 million square feet roof, 24 acres of all agricultural products. So anything that's Pennsylvania agriculture is here. Everything from, we have 6,000 head of livestock here. We have every commodity that's grown in Pennsylvania here under one roof.
That's awesome. I seen this year's theme is Fill a Glass with Hope. Obviously the butter sculpture, which we had the opportunity to look at a little bit earlier, that's a theme. Could you tell us a little bit about that, what the meaning is behind it, and some of the charities that are benefiting from that?
Yes, I can. This is an idea that was hatched at the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. We're actually the first ones in the nation to do anything like this. But we got the idea, how come we don't have fluid milk in the food banks? And so we talked to the food bank people, see if it was possible. And we also talked to our industry in Harrisburg and Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. We talked to the Harrisburg dairies. So Harrisburg dairies are doing the bottling for us, and we talked to the industry heads of dairy, and they're helping out. So everybody's worked together, and we made it happen. So we do have fluid milk in the food banks for the food bank recipients. Now, before we even found out if it was going to work, we got a request from Pittsburgh area, the Greater Pittsburgh Area Food Bank, and Snyder Valley Farm, Snyder Dairy wanted to do the same thing out in the western Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So we're actually doing it in both of the food bank areas. So it could be upwards to 100,000 families that are going to have access to fluid milk in Pennsylvania. Now, we kicked off this campaign. We've been doing this, but we kicked off this campaign. We thought if we could raise $100,000 to help to finance this effort here at the farm show. So we had a lot of different sponsors come forward and make donations. The day that the food courts opened up on Friday at noon, we had a kickoff for Fill the Glass with Hope. And you'll see around different areas of the farm show milk cans where you can donate to the food banks, and each dollar buys 8 glasses of milk.
Wow.
On Friday when we kicked it off, we had enough sponsors that we raised $42,000. So we're well on our way to $100,000 raised, and it's all for a good cause. So I hope that everybody that hears about this can
stop in and drop a couple dollars.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome. That's great. Now, agriculture, obviously the #1 industry here in Pennsylvania. Tell us a little bit about the mission, the trade mission recently to China, and what that means for agriculture here in Pennsylvania.
I was in May. I had the opportunity to go on a USDA trade mission to China, and Pennsylvania. We're standing right here in front of a brand new Woodmobile, and I know that Pennsylvania is the hardwood capital of the world, and we exported $1.7 billion worth of hardwood products last year, and about 2/3 of that goes to China. So I was able to. We went with USDA. So the first 9 days we were with USDA, but after that we separated out and went to Pennsylvania meetings alone, and we were able to renew some acquaintances with companies that we have been dealing with, and we were able to have meetings with some of the new potential customers for Pennsylvania hardwood. So it was a very productive 2 weeks that we were gone, It's a long flight.
Yes, I can only imagine.
17-hour flight,
Wow.
but it was a great trip. It's a trip of a lifetime, and we were able to do some good for Pennsylvania. 11, I think it's $11 billion worth of products, hardwood products that are produced, and we export $1.7 billion.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. And you can just see, if anybody has the opportunity to stop in at the farm show and just see some of the workmanship and the fine woods that we have here in Pennsylvania. Now, last winter was very harsh, especially in eastern PA. What does that do to the industry of agriculture and farmers? Obviously, a little bit more trying in those times. Can you tell us a little bit about what effect that had last year?
Well, last year, when you have sustained cold for a long period of time, it will freeze. The frost gets farther and farther down underground, and it gets down to the roots, and it will freeze off the some of the fruit tree roots. And when that happens, sometimes you have to pull out the fruit trees and start over again. Cherry trees and peach trees and some of those up here in the north that, when we've had a few mild winters, they think that they can grow those. So I know that especially up in Erie, along the lake, when we had sustained a couple of weeks below zero weather, that the frost got down deep enough that it did kill some of the cherry trees and some of the fruit trees up there. So that means start over again and plant new trees and wait for 7 years for harvest on those.
Now, the farmers markets of Pennsylvania rank 7th in the nation. What has led to this tremendous success of our farmers markets? And we have one in Carbon County, and I know we shop locally at our farm stands. What makes Pennsylvania special in that regard?
Well, I think a lot of it is location. First of all, you have tradition, but you have location. Pennsylvania is within an 8-hour drive of 50% of the population of the U.S. That's New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, all of that. So that gives us an opportunity to provide those large populations with fresh fruit, vegetables, all those products. And everybody wants to buy local now, which is great, because when we buy local, then we keep those dollars circulating in local communities, and it supports the local farmers.
Now, one of the things we worked on last session was the inheritance tax for the family farm. Could you tell us a little bit about what effects that have? I know every time we do an event, anything with the farmers, in the district, they're very excited and very happy about that. Tell us how that was impacting the family farms and how that is benefiting Pennsylvania agriculture.
It's very important that we continue on the tradition of farming, and it's hard enough to do that. That was imperative to do that, because before I've known farmers who have had to sell off part of the farm or 3/4 of the farm just to pay the inheritance tax, and especially a farm that had been in family for generations.
Yeah.
And so this allows us to transition to the next generation a lot easier, a lot cheaper, and it's been fantastic. And I want to thank you for helping in getting that done.
Yeah, well, obviously farmers are asset rich. They have the assets, but if they either refinancing or anything, it's a huge burden. So we were very excited about getting that done, and anything we do to help the agriculture in the community. Another thing that we passed last session, another bill, was some protection for farmers who allow hunting and access for hunters on their property, and give them that liability protection. I don't know if you want to expand upon that a little bit.
That is also a good bill, because a lot of times someone who comes in, we don't even know that they're there, and they fall and hurt themselves, fall out of a tree and get hurt, and they come and say, hey, we fell on your property, you're liable. And the attorneys go out, they see, like you said, we're asset rich, cash poor, so they go after the landowner, because they think it looks like it's worth a lot of money. And so we appreciate that liability insurance.
Now the technologies, I actually walked through some of the exhibits which showcase some of the new technologies in farming today. How has that technology changed over the years? How is it really benefiting our family farms and our farms here throughout Pennsylvania?
Well, I think that farmers have always been have welcomed technology. If you look at the antique tractors, at one time they were cutting edge technology. They were a lot better than horses and a lot more productive than horses. But today we have sprayers that can tell where they've been. So if you're in a field that isn't square and it's triangular, and you come back, and once you get to the part that's already been sprayed, those nozzles will automatically shut off because they're tied in with the GPS system that reads where they've been, and it knows that they've been there, so it will shut off the nozzles, allowing you to spray only the part that hasn't been sprayed before, which is environmentally a lot friendlier than ever before, and it also economically, because you're not spraying double of products. And the pesticides and insecticides that are used nowadays are very, very expensive. So we also have tractors that are run by GPS. So one farmer can run more than one tractor because they're guided by GPS. We also have robotic milkers where no human hands ever touch the cows. The cow just decides when she wants to be milked. She goes up and the robot takes over and puts the milker on. It preps her, puts the milker on, and takes the milker off and sanitizes it afterwards.
Well, it's just incredible. If you look back over from the technology, like you said, from the days of the horse-drawn plows to where we're at today with the automatic milking, the GPS technology, all these things and how those applications are applied to farming. Obviously, America Feeds the World in Pennsylvania is right in the hub here with agriculture. 1 in every 7 jobs, I believe.
That's correct.
Is somehow contributed to agriculture. So, and you look at the emerging markets, whether it be the wine industry in Pennsylvania, and the cheeses, the fruits, and everything else. So it's certainly exciting times here in the ag arena. So I think we have to wrap up. We're about out of time for today, but I thank you so much, and wonderful job that you've done as Secretary of Agriculture, and I look to continuing to work together.
Thank you for all that you've done for agriculture. Appreciate it.